ladies. Welcome to another episode of You Got This, Sis. In today's episode, we will be talking about 10 ways to stop bringing yourself down through negative self-talk. Well, what is self-talk? Self-talk is the most important conversation we have with ourselves. Talking to ourselves has direct implications on our self-esteem, level of confidence, mood, and overall well-being. This is why negative self-talk is so dangerous. It can cause low self-esteem, low confidence, mood swings, demotivation, all the way to depression. Right? So if you're like most people, you know your inner critic all too well. It is the voice in your head that judges you, doubts you, belittles you, and constantly tells you that you are not good enough. Can anybody relate to having that voice in their head? I know I can. So it says negative, hurtful things to you. Things that you would never even dream of saying to anyone else. Things such as, I'm an idiot. I'm a phony. I never do anything right. I will never succeed. I will never have a better life. I'm going to be broke forever. So, like it or not, everything that you say to yourself matters, ladies. The inner critic isn't harmless, right? It obstructs you, it limits you, and stops you from pursuing the life you truly want to live. It robs you of peace of mind and emotional well-being. And if left unchecked long enough, it can lead to serious mental health problems like depression or anxiety. So our inner critic can serve multiple purposes that on the surface may seem useful. It can make you feel like you're trying to do right in some way by wanting to be better or to achieve more. However, using self-criticism for these reasons instead of positive self-talk is the same as choosing punishment over a reward. While punishment can deter certain behaviors in the short term, rewards are generally better for shaping new and lasting behavior. When you punish someone for what they do wrong, that doesn't teach them how to do it right. So, for example, imagine a small child learning to walk. If you scream at him and call him a little dummy every time he falls down, you can only imagine what a negative impact it would have on him. It would certainly have a different effect, however, than if you smiled and encouraged him every single time he took a step towards you. Hi, baby. Hi, cutie pie. Coochie, coochie, coo. You can do it. Come to mommy. You can walk. Things like that, which would encourage him to take another step because it is positive rather than, you idiot boy, you can't even take a step yet. You're 2 years old and you can't even walk. No, keep it positive. So when your inner critic consistently labels you in a negative way, it has a demoralizing effect and it shapes your mindset about who you are and what you can do. What if the critic is true? You ask. It doesn't even matter. right? Negative self-talk is never in your best interest. There is always a kinder, different, better way to treat yourself that doesn't involve negative labels and self-destructive mindset, ladies. In any given situation, you can focus on what you did wrong or what you did well and what you can do better next time. There's always a next time to do better, right? So, in this episode, I am going to share with you 10 ways to stop bringing yourself down through negative self-talk, right? And these I have learned from my own personal experiences. So let's go. Number 1, notice the critic. To gain control over your inner critic, you have to first be aware of it. During every conscious moment, we have an inner dialogue with ourselves. Much of our thinking is so automatic and happening so rapidly that we barely notice it before we move on to the next thought. Making the conscious effort to slow down and pay more attention to your thoughts will help you notice when the critic is present. Your emotions will also cue you to the presence of the critic. Negative emotions such as doubt, guilt, shame, and worthlessness are almost always signs of your inner critic at work. So, practical exercise for today. A good exercise to try for 1 week is simply keep an inner critic log, either in a small notebook or on your phone. So ladies, every time you notice yourself being self-critical, just note 2 or 3 words about the situation. For example, oh, I got up late, meeting with the boss, I had a fight with mom, disgusting lunch choices, and what the criticism was about the situation. For example, let's say you got up late and your criticism would be, oh, I'm so lazy, I'm no good. If you have a meeting set up with your boss, you might be thinking, oh, I'm a bad employee, I'm about to be fired. You have a fight with your mom, you start thinking, oh, I'm not a good daughter, I'm a bad person. Right? You have disgusting lunch choices or you're late in traffic. Oh, I have no control. So there's always that inner critic that is talking to you and telling you all these negative things. Right? So once you are aware of the critical voice, you will be in a position to stand up for it. Stand up to it. Right? So let's say you're late to work because traffic was disgustingly slow. That doesn't make you a lazy person for being late. Traffic being slow was beyond your control. What can you do to rectify the situation? Tomorrow morning, try to leave a little earlier to beat the traffic. Try to find a solution to the problem. Instead of believing what your inner critic says, that, oh, you're lazy because you got late to work. No. 2, when you catch yourself talking negatively in your mind, stop immediately and breathe deeply, which is down to your stomach, ladies, at least 10 times, all while focusing on your breathing so you can shut down your thoughts. And what this does is deep breathing will take you out of that flight or fight mode. This is the mode that your body goes into when it begins to panic about a situation. So let's say you hear that you have a meeting with your boss at 12. Your body inner critic might jump up and start saying, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. What did I do last year that was so bad? Like, did I make his coffee right? Did I take her that presentation that she wanted? Oh my God, I'm going to need a new job. I'm so fired. When the truth of the matter is you have no idea what your boss necessarily wants to talk to you about. But because you hear the words meeting with your boss, your body goes into fight or flight mode. So by deep breathing, not shallow breath, ladies, where you go, no, deep breathing, where you breathe in deeply to your stomach, let it go, do it 10 times. What this will do is it will send oxygen to your brain and forces your body to calm down so you can think rationally and logically. Right? So after you've taken a deep breath 10 times, what you're going to proceed to do is drink some water and busy yourself with something else rather than just sitting there dwelling on negative thoughts and letting it overwhelm you so much that you have a anxiety or panic attack. I've had those, never fun. Right? So take some deep breaths and drink some water, ladies. It will all be okay. No situation is too bad to be fixed. There is a solution to everything. Call it the optimist in me, but there is a solution for every problem. Number 3. Choose 5 positive affirmations and start reciting them to yourself again and again and again until you stop the negative thoughts. For example, I am not a bad person. I am healthy. I am a phenomenal mom. I am a loving daughter. I am a wife that is loved and cared for. After repeating affirmations daily, after a while, your whole mindset changes to match what you tell yourself, and that is always a plus, ladies. So starting this week, we are going to choose 5 positive affirmations and start reciting them daily to ourselves. So that is another practical exercise, ladies. Okay, moving on to number 4. Reach out. Don't be afraid to turn to a friend or someone you trust when you're having a weak moment. Right? Sharing our feelings of embarrassment, disappointment, or frustration can help us recognize whether the things we are saying to ourselves are helpful or unhelpful, especially if the goal is to feel better. Right? Sometimes saying things out loud instead of keeping them locked up inside gives us the ability to see how unfair and unnecessary our comments are. Right? So pick up the phone and call somebody from your inner circle. Your best friend is always the best choice because you can discuss your negative thoughts with them and they'll help you walking through them rationally. If you don't have a best friend, call your mom, call your sister, call your pastor, call somebody in your life who can help you get through this and who will listen to you. Right? Suppose you decide that your inner critic is telling you, oh, you're stupid and you'll never amount to anything in life. You call your best friend and she's like, girl, remember when you got that promotion last year? Remember when you started earning $10,000 a month when you were only earning $500? Girl, you're doing things, okay? You got this. Like, stop worrying. Like, it's not even worth worrying what you're worrying about, okay? So reach out, talk to somebody, right? They can show you things from the other side, things that you won't necessarily see, okay? So number 5, right? Pick up a piece of paper. Another practical activities, ladies. Yes, our podcast is full of practical activities because we want to change your mindset and help you to become a better version of you. And the more you do these activities, the better you will become at leveling up into the woman that you want to be. Okay? So it's all about leveling up, ladies. Right? So pick up a piece of paper and start doing the following. Write down the positive thought, counterbalancing the negative one. Right? Write down the true probabilities of a worst case scenario. You will often discover they are too low and not worth bringing anyone down. Right? Which comes back to one of my earlier examples where I said your inner critic says that you're lazy because you're late for work and because of traffic and whatever, and you counteract it with saying, I am not lazy. Traffic was horrible. I will leave early tomorrow. Therefore, bringing a positive thought into being to counteract the negative one. Right? Write down every positive factor that can help you support your case against your negative thought. What if your negative thought is, I'll always be broke? Go check your bank account. You might have a lot of money in there that counteracts your negative belief that you'll always be broke. Do you have a job? Are you getting paid every week, every fortnight, every month? Hey, you're making money. A lot of people do not have work right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Right? So write down everything positive that goes against whatever negative your inner critic is trying to tell you. Right? So number 6, make or get yourself a yummy drink. Right? Doesn't have to be alcoholic. And put on some relaxing music, ladies. And read empowering messages from people who are experiencing the same feelings that you are experiencing. YouTube is so good for this because YouTube has a lot of motivational videos. Like, the content on YouTube is absolutely amazing. So there's always something to uplift you and give you that little vibe that you need. Hashtag is a vibe, to lift you out of that slump that your inner critic may have put you in. Right? Number 7, talk back. So talking back to your inner critic is an important part of taking away its power. Simply telling the critic you don't want to hear what it has to say begins to give you a sense of choice in the matter. When you hear the inner critic start to speak, tell it to go away. Tell it you refuse to listen. Tell it that you know it is a liar. Tell it You are choosing instead to be kind to yourself, which brings us to our next point. Number 8, be kind to yourself. Have some compassion for yourself and try to imagine whether your best friend would ever say these things to you. Right? Do you think your best friend is really going to get up and say, oh, you're an idiot all day, every day? No. Like, would you honestly let somebody else talk to you that way, the way you talk to yourself? It's ridiculous. No. Would you ever say that to somebody that you loved or cared about? No. So why the double standard? Why would you tell yourself I'm lazy, I'm ugly, I'm untalented, I'm broke, I have no purpose, like I'm no good? Why would you tell yourself those things, but you wouldn't say that to somebody else? Stop living a double life, ladies. Stop having double standards. If you wouldn't say it to somebody else, do not say it to yourself. Number 9, be willing to be imperfect. It's a challenge, but it can help if you can accept that you are human and cut yourself some slack. No one is perfect. It can be so liberating to realize that you don't have to be perfect and stop holding yourself to these unrealistically high standards. Like when you look at Instagram, everybody belly flat, right? Everybody has a big booty. Everybody has, perfect skin and hair down to their butt, and they're living these glamorous lives, and everybody's bank account has at least $1 million in it, and they're going on these exotic vacations to Bali and all these places, and you're sitting there looking like with no purpose to your life. So then you aim to be the Instagram girl, going on all these trips and doing surgery to fix whatever, and do not try to live up to unrealistic standards, because it really makes no sense, because then you're always going to try to get the next thing. Next, you start out with getting your boobs done. Next thing, you get your booty done. Next thing you know, you're fixing your nose. Next thing, you're fixing whatever else. Mark you, ladies, there is nothing wrong with plastic surgery. Okay? There's nothing wrong with plastic surgery. If you as an adult decide that, hey, this is what I want to do and it would make me happy, hey, go for it. Right? What I'm referring to is when it is never enough. I think it's called body dysmorphia disorder, something like that, where you can never have enough. Like every month, like it's just surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery, where it's never enough. I'm not talking about somebody perfectly normal wanting to fix something. I'm talking about fixing something that makes you happy. Self-love, ladies, it's all about self-love. Right? So a shift in overall thinking takes time. But wanting to end that negative train of thinking is the first step to better self-esteem and a clearer head. Number 10, keep a positive traits list. Right? Similar to the gratitude list, this is an opportunity for you to look at yourself and inside yourself for all those little positive things about you. Maybe you have a good sense of humor. Maybe you have strong fingernails. Some people have brittle fingernails. Some people have fingernails that, I don't know, like For example, my daughter, she's only 11. She has fingernails I would die for, because her nails, like, they grow so fast and they grow so strong, and she does nothing to make them grow that way. Mine, they break easily. Like, I'm officially jealous. Okay? Yeah, hashtag don't judge me. But everybody has something about themselves that's absolutely beautiful. Maybe it's your smile, maybe it's your eyes, maybe it's your kind personality, maybe it's your big heart, maybe it's your silky hair. Maybe your smile lights up the room, and the sound of your singing voice brings others to a positive place. What is it about you that lights up the world, your friends, and your family? Right? We all have a choice where to put our focus. Right? So dwell on the positive, ladies, and let's disregard the negative. We are better than this without society bashing us to look perfect and to be perfect. We already have a battle to fight, right? So, ladies, I just want you to know that you are relevant, you are not alone, and not defined by a few moments of negativity that we all experience as human beings. This too shall pass, sis. Okay, I promise it won't always be negative. There are gonna be days of beautiful sunshine and unicorns and rainbows. Okay, and until next time, always remember, you got this, sis.